Hey baby girls, these are some of the deepest cracked, most heavily calloused heels I've ever seen. The moment Sam walked in, I knew a standard pedicure wasn't going to touch him. So today I'm going to be using Elim's Advanced Pedicure System. It's completely different to a traditional pedicure because it uses a safe chemical peel to soften and break down all of that hard, stubborn skin before I even start removing it. And honestly, I can't wait to see the difference this makes to Sam's feet. So let's do this. So first up, I'm going to spray and sanitize the feet using the Elim sanitizer. One thing I really love about this product is that it's not just for the skin. You can also use it to sanitize hard surfaces, so even your pedicure bowl can be cleaned with it afterwards. So now it's time for the part I've been looking forward to the most. This is the Elim Callused Tonic, and this is really what's going to make this treatment so different from a traditional pedicure. So rather than relying on lots of filing alone, this chemical peel works by softening and breaking down all of that stubborn hard skin by changing the pH balance. And this is the strongest pedicure peel you can buy on the market. And as you can see, I'm just applying the tonic directly onto the areas with the thickest buildup of hard skin. Before applying the tonic, I did make sure that the cracks aren't so deep that they've extended into the living layers of the skin. Although these cracks do look really severe, they're actually only within the hard buildup of calluses. Because Sam's heels have built up such a long time, I did explain that getting them completely baby smooth will realistically take a couple of treatments, but even after just one treatment, you're going to see just how much of a transformation this Elim pedicure can provide. And then I set my timer for 10 minutes. I've also been upgraded with the nicest foot file I've ever used. I no longer have to use my reusable foot pads that don't fit my foot file anymore. And oh my god, it even has a built-in scraper on the other side, which is perfect for lifting away all of that softened hard skin. So now it's time to scrape away all of that softened hard skin, and I definitely gave this chemical peel a run for its money because these heels were in pretty rough condition. And just look at all that hard skin, and believe it or not, I actually filled another 2 scrapers just like this from that one heel alone. I then moved on to the balls of her feet and her toes, and the chemical peel actually removed every bit of thickened skin on this area. So some people may not realise, but heavy filing can create tiny amounts of friction and trauma to the skin, which encourages the skin to protect itself by producing more hard skin over time. Because this treatment does so much of the hard work for us, we then don't have to file so aggressively. And in some cases, we don't have to file at all. So this helps to slow down how quickly that hard skin returns, making this treatment last so much longer than your usual pedicure. And you'll probably notice that my filing is much less vigorous than it normally is. That's because the chemical peel has already done most of the hard work by softening and breaking down that stubborn hard skin for me. So at this stage, I'm really just refining the surface and removing any remaining traces of hard skin, rather than having to aggressively file away thick build-up. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that my usual foot filing is basically a full-blown workout. While I worked on the other foot, I actually left a teeny bit of a calloused tonic on that particularly stubborn area for no more than 2 minutes, just to give it that little bit of extra time to soften that remaining hard skin. Now it's time for the pH neutralizer. And this is a really important step in the treatment. Its job is to stop the chemical peel from continuing to work. So it's essential that every area the callus tonic touched is thoroughly neutralized. And to do this, I just applied it to a cotton pad and went over all of the treated area. I was genuinely obsessed with the next few steps of this treatment, and this was definitely one of my favourites. This is the alpha hydroxy acid foot exfoliant, and I think I've mentioned AHAs in one of my previous videos, but they are a much more effective way of exfoliating the skin. Rather than just scrubbing away dead skin on the surface, they gently dissolve the bonds holding those dead skin cells together, and I just love that I could apply it this way while she was on the bed. Also, don't worry baby girls, the feet will be soaked later, but we have a few more steps before that. So another one of the things that I absolutely loved about this treatment was that I could actually apply the Ultra Mud Purifying Clay Mask straight over the top of the AHA exfoliant. That means both products can work at the same time, which just makes the whole treatment flow so much better. The clay mask helps to detoxify the skin whilst also locking in moisture. So you're treating and hydrating the feet all in one go. Little touches like this just make the treatment so much more efficient, and honestly, I love that I could layer these steps together. So I covered this with a bag and I exposed the toes so I could then work on those while the mask was doing its thing. Now it's time to tackle the toenails, starting by gently pushing back and tidying up the cuticles. I know this is one of your favourite parts. And while I was working, I did notice a little bit of damage to a few of her toenails that looked consistent with gel polish being removed a little too aggressively. So we had a chat and we agreed that next time she'd skip the gel and give her natural nails a chance to recover and let them have a little bit of a break. So I know I'll probably get a few comments about my cuticle work, so I just wanted to explain something. First of all, I cut a lot of my videos down, otherwise you will be watching hours of a pedicure. Also, I never actually trained in Russian manicures or pedicures using an e-file, so my cuticle work is done completely by hand. And because of that, it's naturally going to look a bit different from someone who's specifically trained in that technique. But I think people sometimes forget that my full-time job isn't being a pedicurist anymore. My full-time job is creating YouTube content, and this definitely makes it harder to keep up with all the new education when I'm not actually offering it as a treatment. That being said, I'm always open to learning and improving. And if learning e-file cuticle work helps me give my models even more better results, then it's definitely something I'd love to do. So I'm just spraying all the nails with my Elim sanitizer, and then the feet are ready for a nice hot foot soak. Now it was finally time to use the incredible pedicure bowl with the reviving foot soak. And the foot soak smelled absolutely incredible. Such a fresh tea tree scent with subtle notes of rosemary. Honestly, my whole room smelled like a spa. I also added a little bit of the spa additive to the foot bowl. So this is an antiseptic that helps neutralize odors. It also helps encourages circulation, reduces puffiness, softens the skin, and helps calm irritation without drying out the skin. I left the feet to soak for around 5 minutes, and then I went in with my towel mitts to get rid of all the mask. It was finally time to paint the nails, and I first started with the base coat. My client chose this gorgeous buttery yellow, and I absolutely love pastel colours for summer, but I have to admit they're definitely some of the hardest shades to apply evenly. So to make sure the finish was completely smooth and streak free, I applied 3 thin coats of colour. I then decanted Elim's antibacterial rescue cuticle MD oil, and I used the lip one so I could work around each nail, helping to hydrate and nourish the cuticles, giving everything a beautiful and hydrated look. To lock in all that hydration, I finished with Elim's Foot Perfector. One thing I really loved about this product is that it leaves a soft powder-like finish rather than feeling greasy and slippery, so the feet feel beautifully hydrated without any oily residue. Now it was time for the final finishing touch, Elim Gold Spritz. Just look how gorgeous this product is. It's a super fine gold shimmer mist that gives the skin a beautiful, healthy glow and really adds that luxury finish touch to the treatment. Now, if you can't remember what the feet looked like before, just take another look at how thick, dry and cracked those heels were. And now look at the transformation. We haven't completely erased every deep fissure in just one treatment, but the difference is incredible. I've asked my client to come back in around 6 weeks so we can tackle them again and hopefully get those heels as close to baby smooth as possible. I honestly think they look like a completely different pair of feet. A huge thank you to Elim for collaborating with me on this video. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!